All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It is 46 minutes after 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and we are now joined by the governor of the state of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee. Governor, good afternoon.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just great, thank you.
Well, it's been a long time since we've been able to speak with you, so I'm certainly glad for the opportunity today. And I just want to dive right in. There's obviously a lot happening in our state, a lot going on. I want to talk about your Education Freedom Scholarship Act of 2024, and just tell me about that. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, Steve, I when I ran for governor, I said everybody in Tennessee deserves access to a good job, a good school for their kids, safe neighborhood, and we've made tremendous strides in education in a lot of ways, and we should be we should be mindful of what we have done. But I'm a person who believes that we should never stop making improvements in opportunities for our kids. And I'm also a person who believes that if you really want to consider who knows best with regard to a child's education and what's best for that kid, you ought to ask their parent. And when a parent has a choice about where their kid goes to school, that child is likely to have a better outcome because the parent will choose what is best for their individual kid, their individual needs. So this proposal that we have put forth to work with the General Assembly, Education Freedom Scholarship Act, is really a way to give every family in this state a choice about where their kid goes to school. And that's simply the basis of it. There's evidence as to why this works, but anecdotally, we all understand, and most everyone believes that children are different, they have different needs, and parents know best how to meet those needs.
We're joined by the governor of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, with us here on Mix 1041 and also on MixTV.tv. When we started promoting the fact you were going to join us this afternoon, we did receive some questions from the public, and one of those questions that came in said, "What accountability is attached to this program?"
Well, I think the part of that answer is that parents are the best accountability, right? I mean, when a parent makes a choice about their kid's education, they are more concerned than anyone about the accountability of the outcomes of that education for their child. So broadly, parents are the best accountability measure. We've actually have seen where we have implemented an education savings account program in Shelby County, for example. 91% of the parents that participated in that choice program were satisfied, pleased with the outcomes of their kids when they had a choice. So parents are the number one accountability method, but we have accountability built into our schools, both private and public, in this state right now. Each school is categorized according to the accountability measures that are in place for them. None of that changes under our proposal. All of these schools will be held to the same accountability standards that they've previously been held to, and there are no additional strings attached with this program either. It really just allows parents to have another option and to add to their choice.
We're joined by the governor of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, live here on Mix 1041, MixTV.tv. And, we received one more here, and as far as what do you say to those people who would think this type of program would take money away from the public school systems?
Well, I've always thought and always said and always advocated for having the best public school systems in the country. We've put $1 billion additionally into our public school systems in the last couple of years. We've elevated our teacher pay level to one of the top 10 states in the country. We will continue to invest in and work to make sure that our public schools are the best in the country. People have this false narrative that we have to either choose to give parents choices or invest in public schools. That's not true. We can have both. We should have both. We should have the best educational trajectory for all of our kids. And what's interesting is that in states that have implemented this kind of program, and there are states who've done this long before we have, there are 9 states in the country already who have universal school choice, Florida being one of them that's had it for many, many years, and that have had choice across the state for many years. And their educational outcomes in all schools for all kids are some of the top in the country, if not the best in the country. And what you find out is that when you give parents choices, the entire trajectory, all of the educational system in all schools is improved in the state. There's evidence for it, and it just makes sense, right? Parents know best what's best for their kids, and that's what we want to bring in the state. So I'm looking forward to bringing this forward so that all of our children, those in public, private, homeschooled, all of our kids have better outcomes in the future.
We're joined by the governor, Bill Lee, of course, of the volunteer state. Let's move on from that. What are some of the other issues that you'd like to see this upcoming legislature take up this next session?
You know, we are going to continue, as we said, to invest in education. We're also going to continue to invest in the things that we believe will move our state forward, which is, workforce development, making sure that we are, we put significant funding in TCATs and vocational education, and we're going to continue to do that. We
now,
are
more sounds of the season.
Governor?
Are you there, Steve?
Yeah, right. Sorry about that. Go right ahead.
Yep. Nope. Last year we made major investments in state parks and in cleaning up brownfields across the state. We're going to continue to invest in conservation this year. We're looking at ways to preserve land, especially to work in a state that has, rapid development. How is it that we make sure that we balance the conservation of farmland, for example, with rapid growth? Those kind of conservation investments are important going forward. So, when I ran for governor, I said people want a good job and a good school for their kid in a safe neighborhood, and those are the things that we're going to continue to work on even in this legislative session.
And Governor, right here in Bradley County, the Pi Center. I know you mentioned TCAT, but the Pi Center has really in Bradley County schools has been a game changer, not only for Bradley County but for this area.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Pi Center. Maria and I visited that when we were campaigning, and I remember they had just secured the building. There was nothing built out there. We walked through, and there was conversation about why this was important, and I loved it. And because my background is skilled trades. I came from a plumbing, piping, electrical, HVAC background. So when I came to this job, we created the Governor's Investment in Vocational Education and funded programs, including our TCATs. But when I went to the Pi Center that first time, I remember thinking, this is exactly what needs to happen. It's a model for the state. It's a public and private partnership. Private businesses engaged in the education system to change the opportunities for people in a region. And I remember when I actually became governor and had the opportunity to help fund the Pi Center after visiting it before and realizing it was a great place. That's been a great, it's been a great privilege for me to be able to do. But I'm excited about what that center can be as a model all across the state.
Certainly so. We're joined by the governor, of course, Bill Lee here, and it's just in here. I guess Christmas time is here, and we have a lot of people who are also suffering, Governor, and economically, maybe in some other ways. What would you say to that person today and this season of the year. What would you say to our audience here today?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. You know, Christmas is an interesting time because it's joyful. They're singing, there are lights everywhere, and yet at the same time, somehow, oftentimes, it brings to the surface the pain and difficulty and struggle that people face at different times in their lives, right? So people who've lost loved ones or people who are struggling financially, and it elevates those challenges for people at the same time. It's an interesting season, but what's really profound about that for me as a person who has a deep appreciation for who we celebrate and why we celebrate Christmas, you know, the hope of Christ transcends circumstances. People who have struggled, and we all have been. I've been through tragic seasons of my own life. And the hope that was available because of that relationship transcended and helped walk me through those seasons. What my hope for Tennesseans is that in this Christmas season, we actually see the real hope that rises way above our immediate circumstances and gives us hope for the future.
Amen to that, Governor, and our very best to you and the First Lady, Maria, and hope you have a very Merry Christmas, sir.
Thank you so much, Steve. Good to talk to you again.
Great to talk with you. Merry Christmas, Governor. Thank you. That is the Governor of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, joining us exclusively here this afternoon on Mix 1041 and on MixTV.tv. If you're just joining us and you'd like to go back and watch the interview, you can do that on MixTV.tv. I know we have a television audience joining us right now, also on the radio, but very interesting interview. There's been a lot said in a lot of places about the Education Freedom Scholarship Act of 2024, and the governor really being very forceful, I guess, probably not the best way to say it, but anyway, very forceful in his own beliefs about this program he has proposed. It is facing some quite a bit of objection, actually, around the public school world all over the state, and some headwinds will definitely face it. But that will be part of, as leadership has introduced that for the legislative session, which begins next month in Nashville. That is our interview with Governor Bill Lee. Tell you what, it is 3 o'clock. I'm going to make way for Dwayne Williams, the host of the Mix Afternoon Drive, driven by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. And again, if you want to go back, if you're just joining us, you want to go back and watch or watch the interview, listen to it, MixTV.tv. At 3 p.m., I'm Steve Hartline. Good day.